So I'm here today with Doug Redler, the author of The Guitarist's Guide to Maintenance and Repair, and also the guitar tech to a couple pretty big stars.
Yeah.
Rich Robinson and Black Rose, Slash.
Yes, sir.
I always wanted a mandolin. I finally picked one up, but the strings desperately need to be changed. What are the different parts of the mandolin? I'm used to guitars.
There's 8 strings on a mandolin, 4 pairs, tuned in unisons.
Okay.
This is your tailpiece. This is your bridge. These are your F holes. This is your neck, fretboard, metal frets, the nut, and your tuners.
All right. Where do we start to get new strings on here?
Okay, before we loosen the strings, we're going to tape down the bridge so it doesn't move. It's not glued down, it's floating, and when we take the strings off, it'll move. So
all right.
We're going to take some masking tape, just put it right on each edge.
So Doug, now that we have the bridge taped down, what's the next step?
Okay, we're going to loosen the strings. On the mandolin, we're just going to go 2 sets at a time instead of taking all the strings off at one time. I want to keep some pressure on the bridge so it doesn't fall. So I'm going to take my D'Addario string winder, put it around the tuner, and slowly go clockwise until the string is loose. And we're just going to do it on these 4.
All right, now that these strings are loose, what's the next step?
Okay, we're going to clip them with the clippers on the end of the winder. And right about here, just going to snip it.
So Doug, is there any worry about doing more than one string at a time?
No, we're just going to get all these off as quick as possible.
Great.
So we cut the strings, then we're going to take it from this end and just slowly slip the loop right off of the pin. I'm going to take all 4 of the strings we just cut.
And now we just have to do the same at the headstock, correct?
Yes. Unwind them and they'll come right off. Here we go.
Now that we remove the strings, how do we replace them?
On this mandolin, I'm going to use the D'Addario loop end. So they come in pairs, as you see. Both strings are identical.
So you don't have to worry about mixing them up or anything?
Nope, you can't mix them up. We're going to take the first string, go through the tailpiece, and the loop end of the string goes right around the pin. After we put the loop end of the string on, we're going to put it through the headstock. Give it a little slack, bend the string over, take your D'Addario winder, do 1 wrap over, and 1 wrap under.
Now Doug, how many windings should you have on the string post?
The mandolin has shorter posts on it, so I'm only going to do about 2 or 3.
Okay.
You want to make sure they're nice and even and a nice downward wind, and you want to have the string facing the inside of the post.
So as long as the string is on the inside of the post, we know we're turning the tuner the correct way, right?
That's right.
Perfect.
And you want to have it on every string facing the same way, facing inside. So tuning a mandolin, the strings are so close together, it helps to use a guitar pick. So I'm using my D'Addario headstock tuner, and we're going to go by pair, but we're going to go each string individually. So we'll start on this one on the low string on the G, and we'll do 1 string at a time.
Now is it easier to use a pick for this on a mandolin?
You could use a pick or your finger if you have a nail, but I like to use the pick because I can get right in there. So that G's in tune. Then we'll go to the next string, which is a unison. And always tune up to pitch. And you hear how they're both in tune. And there you go.
All right. Is this mandolin ready to play now?
Not quite yet, Rob. We still have to stretch the strings and you'll be ready to do your gig.
Great. Show me how to do it.
Okay. Mandolin, the strings are small. The instrument's small. You just got to get your thumb and your fingers in there and just give it a little slight bend.
And you can do both strings, both pair,
Yep,
at one time.
And once you give it enough stretches and it stays in tune, you're ready to play.
Awesome. Doug, I can't thank you enough.
Thanks, Rob.